Traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix, and you're watching the week ahead video for March 26, 2017. And first and foremost, I hope you're having or had a great weekend. And this week, we are going to take a look at just a few pairs because it's not a very busy week for economic data. On Thursday, we have U.S. final GDP numbers. We've got Canadian GDP on Friday. It's not a whole lot of major market moving economic events happening this week. We really took care of that over the last couple of weeks, but there is a big event happening this week. Article 50 of Brexit is going to be triggered by Prime Minister Theresa May on the 29th, which is on Wednesday. So the cable more than likely will be a big mover, which I'm going to get into here in just a second. I want to show you the cable, but before I do that, I want to start off by just going over a few basics. And if you're looking at this is the ForexAnalytix traffic light page, you'll notice that on the traffic light page, you look at the euro, the pound, look at the short-term and long-term trends. That's ST and LT. They're sideways. Dollar Swiss sideways. Yen. Look at these yen pairs sideways. Euro pound. Now, the directional arrows that you see here on the trend indicators, they're part of our internal algorithm based on all the charts that our analysts are posting, whether it's macro, candlestick, basic technical analysis, harmonic, Elliott wave analysis. This is an algo that basically comes up with this short-term and long-term trend based off the hourly, 4-hour charts, daily, weekly charts that we're posting here. So, but you can see that based on most of our analysis, it's a sideways market for a lot of things. Now, that probably will change, at least for the pound pairs, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But I want to take you over to the dollar index because the dollar index, and we're going to just go to the basic technical analysis of the dollar index here. And you can see in the daily chart, we've got this head and shoulder pattern that we've been talking about, this major support level that we've had. I think we've had this drawn out literally for the last 2 months. And notice how we respected the top of that support zone already. So it's a pretty important support. But even if we do break below this 99.20 level, which is the lower end of the support zone, we do have a daily uptrend line that could be tested. Now, I mentioned I joined as a guest the Wise Trade webinars earlier this week, and I was talking about the possibility of a head and shoulder pattern false breakdown. We'd come test this trend line and then push back up. That's possible. So I think we need to keep an eye on the dollar. Now, I also want to take you over, speaking of dollar and potential bearishness, I want to take you over to the dollar yen. The reason why is the dollar yen. You can see this is the 4-hour chart of earlier in the week. I think this was on Thursday when this chart was posted, but you can see how we broke below, retested the breakdown point here at 111.60, and then came back under pressure, testing the 127% extension. If you go out to the daily chart, you'll notice that we have this slight downward channel. But really, we come down and break through 110 or the channel bottom here, we could very easily see 107 or the 618 retracement, which is 106.85. Now, why could this happen? Well, if you think about what had happened on Friday, and you had Trump care, basically the vote being abandoned because they knew it wasn't going to pass, and then if the market starts to view the U.S. administration is not able to push through legislation as they thought would be as easy when Donald Trump was elected. If this becomes more of a difficult process, which obviously it is, what happens to tax reform if we move forward? It may be weeks or excuse me, months before something gets done on tax reform, and the market might become a little risk averse in the meantime, not having the confidence in the U.S. administration, which could weigh on the dollar, could weigh on equities, which if it does, the dollar yen has a pretty strong relationship with equities. If equity come down, well, the dollar yen could come under pressure too. So I don't want to rule this downside as being limited here to 110. I think if we break below 110, it could get even worse. I do want to talk a little bit about the Great British Pound. Now, I'm not going to show you all the pound pairs right now. We will blog, look for a blog on Monday or Tuesday of the pound currencies from the ForexAnalytix team. I'm saying that because we're going to look at, upside and downside potential in the cable. As Article 50 is triggered this week, we don't know how the pound's going to react. We do know that the market is pretty aggressively short the pound dollar. So, or the pound, excuse me. So, in that sense, there's an opportunity for us to get the sell the rumor, buy the news. The short, the cable into Brexit once Brexit is announced or Article 50 is triggered. Maybe you get a little bit of short covering, which what would be important here, just looking at the chart, is if we came back and broke through 128. The Brexit low was over here around the 130s. Then we made some support post Brexit announcement, broke down again, and we've tested that previous support, which is acting as current resistance. We've done that a couple times. So really a break above 128 would be very, very bullish the pound. Now, the flip side is maybe there is some, there's going to be a lot of unanswered questions regarding Brexit and, what the next year or 2-year time frame looks like and how difficult it is going to be getting through there. So, some treacherous waters, I'm sure, as negotiations take place over the next couple of years. Maybe the pound does come back under pressure and sees, 122, 121, some of this support again. We're going to look in our blog, what some possible upside and downside potentials are on different cross rates, different cable rates. So make sure you're looking for our blog Monday or Tuesday from the ForexAnalytix team regarding Brexit. I do want to take you over to the pound yen, though. This one has been really wound up very tight. You'll notice that we have this triangle. We slightly broke down through the triangle support, but we have the 200. This is the 200 DMA right here. Okay, this 200 period moving average. A break above 140 would be very bullish for the pound yen. We'd probably see a pretty massive squeeze. So if, on Wednesday, Thursday, if the pound decides it wants to rally, the pound yen might be a really nice bullish candidate. Flip side is that the pound comes under pressure and breaks through this 200-day moving average, around 137 or so. It breaks through that, and we could probably see or revisit maybe 130, somewhere down here in the high 120s, maybe the 130 yen level. So the guppy has the potential to move going into this next week. Now, one last thing I want to talk about really quick is we're really happy to announce that ForexAnalytix is in the iTunes store. This is actually the app store on your phone, or if you're using an iPad, just type in ForexAnalytix with an X, and this is what it looks like on your phone. And then also, if you go to Google Play, for those of you that have Android devices, you search ForexAnalytix. You should find our app, and it's wonderful, because when we push new setups, new charts, new updates on ForexAnalytix, and when you get these, if you see like the update history here, whenever we post an update on technical analysis, Elliott wave analysis, whatever it might be, you'll get a notification. And if we breach support and resistance levels that we post, these support and resistance levels, notifications are triggered, which is nice. It really, especially if you're running around, doing things other than trading, which, believe it or not, even as traders, spending 8, 12, 15 hours in some cases in front of the screen, we do get away from the computer and being on the run, whether you're driving or you're dropping off your kids or running an errand, to get a push notification on the market when there is a setup or something is moving is imperative, especially in the currency market. So I hope you enjoy this app. It is free. It is free with your subscription. Remember to subscribe to ForexAnalytix. It's just $1 for 10 days. So make sure you sign up today, download the app. You can find it again on the App Store, on your mobile devices, on your Apple devices, or on the Google Play Store for your Android devices. And I hope you all enjoy it. It's been a big project for us and the team. We worked really hard on it, and we're getting a lot of great feedback regarding the app. So make sure you download it today. All right, folks, thank you very much. This was Blake Morrow with the Week Ahead video. I really appreciate you listening in. Hope you have a great week next week. Remember, look for our blog on Monday or Tuesday regarding the pound, the Great British Pound pairs. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for listening.